In this tutorial, we're going to create a repeat grid pattern using one vector illustration in Adobe Illustrator. So I will show you a couple of ways of doing this. So for the first one, what I would like to do is repeat one image a few times in one grid, and the benefits of using the grid are that you can get the spacing even, or you can create patterns that duplicate an infinite number of times. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the rectangular icon on this side. I'm going to create a layer. So I'm going to click and drag. Okay, and then use that selection tool to pull it down there. And then we're going to go to Object. We're going to go to Lock Selection, so that just keeps it in place throughout the duration of the design process. And you'll notice now that if we drag this layer underneath, it's showing underneath. So we'll need to go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to make this slightly bigger. So I've selected the object, so I'm going to hold down Shift to keep the proportions even and drag that out to the bottom right. Might make it a little bit smaller. Yeah. Okay, and I'll move that up slightly. So keeping that selected, we need to go back up to Object, and then we need to go to Repeat, and this time we're going to go to Grid. So that's Object, Repeat, Grid, select Grid, and there you have it, there's your grid. And this can repeat an infinite number of times across many shapes. So this is an amazing tool to use if you want to create, for example, wrapping paper, planners, notebooks, anything you can think of really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this so I can use it for the other example. So I'm going to go Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. I'm just going to place it over here for now, out of the way. Okay. So I'm going to make this smaller. So I'm going to drag in this rectangular box to make that smaller. And looking at this design, I'm thinking that I would like it to have more space in between. So what I'm going to do is select that circular button at the top, move it along to create more space, then drag this side section outwards. So I think that's a better placement. There's a bit more space around the image. It's a bit clearer to see. And the next thing to do will be to use that alignment tool to align it horizontally and vertically, so then you can be sure it's centered in the correct place, so when it prints it will look perfect. If the align tool's not already visible along the top, I'll just show you how you can access that. You go to Window and you go down to Align. So that's Window, Align, and it will pop up there. It's a really handy tool to use. And there's Transform as well, if you want to vary the angles of the images. Okay, so fairly happy with that. So what we can do now is we can go to Object, and then we can go to that Lock section again, but this time we're going to Unlock. Yeah, so Unlock All, and then we're going to click and drag. And then we're going to group this. So this becomes one movable object. So when you save it, you just go to File and you go to Export Selection, and you could save this as a PNG, a PDF, a JPEG, an SVG, whatever format is best for what you're working on. Okay, so I'm going to move this one to the side now because we're done with that one. And I'm going to move this one back. Okay, so if you want to change the colour, it's very easy to do. We can go to Windows, we can go down to Swatches, so Windows, Swatches, and then we can click on the icon at the side. We can open the swatch library. We can have a look at any of the colour books that are on offer, any of the colour books that you want. And as you can see, there's an outline on this. We can remove the outline because we don't need that. And I'm going to make this smaller. Just press click and drag so that I can fit more images on the page. Move that down. There we go. Yeah, and what we can do again is we can make a background, but this time what I'm going to do, just to show you that you can do it both ways, so I've selected the rectangular tool. I'm going to click and drag to cover this entire background section. Just going to change the colour of that, so there's a bit of a contrast between the foreground and the background. It can be any colour as part of this example. Again, I'll remove that outline and I'll go to Object, Arrange, Centre Back, so you can see that it places it like right behind the illustration. So the great thing about this grid design is that it's still very flexible. You can still like edit the colours, you can change it to anything you want. And yeah, I'm not sure about the green, but it was more as an example. Yeah, I'm liking this colour. And that's how you create repeat grid pattern. I hope this has been helpful. There's many things you can do with it. It's just a starting point, but I think it's a brilliant tool to add a bit of variation to your graphic design and illustration projects, your craft projects. So have lots of fun trying this out. Thanks for watching.